So we have no guests today. It's just me, you, and a bottle of tequila. Oh boy. I'm gonna be your therapist today, your drunk best friend, your worst nightmare, and the girl that you never take home to your parents. Cheers. In the past, while I was younger, who the fuck wouldn't? Bro, I'm getting canceled. Take a shot. How to deal with jealousy after a breakup. 3 turn-ons when a guy sees life as like he can have whatever he wants. I'm literally having an orgasm. Really like a guy who like has nice teeth. Like I'm gonna be staring at that mouth for the rest of my life. I hope it's 3. I don't want to think about another one. How do you keep the convo going with a guy you met who doesn't live in the same city? Girly, you came to the right girl. I have so many opinions about this. Oh my God. Okay, so what was the question? Any opinions on the biological clock for our age? I think that's rude that you asked that question, knowing that we're in the same situation. Club going up on a Tuesday. I don't know if I should answer the question first or take the shot. I think we should take the shot. You're listening to the X Podcast. The X you keep coming back to. This episode is sponsored by 760 Media, located on DeCarry Street. Guys, if you are listeners of my podcast, you know that I literally fully converted to 760 Media because they have so many different podcast rooms to film. If you were ever planning on starting a podcast, this is the place to go. They do cuts, trailers for you, everything. So you don't need to be an expert. You just let the experts do the work for you. So I have a discount code for you guys, and it's X the podcast at checkout for 15% off. Enjoy. Hey guys, welcome back to the X Podcast. I'm your host, and your host every single Monday, Alessia. So we have no guests today. It's just me, you, and a bottle of tequila. Oh boy. I mean, it's summer, right? Who doesn't want to drink, talk shit? What do I do best, okay? This episode is going to be X-rated. So just so you know, I already took a shot. So when I used to film at my studio, I would have tequila and vodka, but we're out of vodka. So tequila is what we have left. And I'm that girl who's just trying to get into tequila. I don't like it. I think it tastes like Windex. But there comes a time in your life where it's like, Alessia, grow up and get into it. So at this point, it's not even a, whether I like it or not. It's just like, get into it. And that's how I feel like I am about a lot of things. Oh my God, the smell. I want to yak already. But I used to be like that with dirty martinis also. I hated the taste. And I remember being in New York and I was like, Alessia, it's time. It's time you get into it. So I also asked you guys to send in some questions. So I'm going to be your therapist today, your drunk best friend, your worst nightmare, and the girl that you never take home to your parents. I can't wait for that one guy to go, no one's wifing you with that dress on. By the way, I love this dress, so I don't give a fuck. I'm getting my period, and it's the worst time to be drinking. Just for any guy listening, okay? Just so you know what women endure, like the pain we have to go through every single month. Our stomachs, it's like, imagine 6 stabbing knives, okay? Just stabbing your stomach, like constantly, like a heartbeat, okay? And you just can't really do anything about it because it's just like, it's the time of the month. So just enjoy the fucking stabbings. Let's just start, okay? Cheers. Cheers to to nothing, honestly. Cheers to me being a freaking basket case, okay? Oh my God. No. This is going to be rough. Okay, I don't know how I should start, but this episode's gonna be like just all over the place. But these are always the best episodes. So, Grand Prix was great. I go out and I meet this guy, super charming. He comes up to me. I feel like he already kind of knew who I was. And we got to talking and we're drunk. And then he says, my ex-girlfriend hates you. And obviously my first initial like reaction is like, oh, like who is your ex-girlfriend? And he pops out a picture and shows me the ex-girlfriend. And guys, keep in mind, this is not a girl I know. I might have seen her out once or twice max. I have never shed one word to this girl. I've never spoken to this girl. I've never even shared like a hi bye. Okay. I've just like maybe seen her out once or twice. And he was saying how she really like doesn't like you. And it really had me thinking, because I've been there in a situation where I was dating my ex-boyfriend and I hated a girl because there was like something. Like I think as a girl, you really know when like your partner like fancies another girl or like when someone's his type. But I think it's so important. It's so important to never let your man know that a girl bothers you. Because let me just explain to you the psychology behind you letting a guy know that a girl bothers you. The way a man sees it is not how you think you're making it out to be. You being like, oh, I hate this girl, like she's this. Like the more you talk shit about a girl to your guy, he's not taking it and receiving it in the same way that you're saying it. Like for him, when you're talking bad about another girl to your man, the way he sees it is like, oh, okay. Subconsciously, he's like, okay, my girl feels threatened by this girl. Why? Why is she jealous? She must be better than my current girl. Why is she threatened by her? She must have something that I don't. She is clearly attracted to her. Like she clearly thinks she's pretty. And I think a lot of women will voice to their men when they don't like a girl. And I just want to be the girl to tell all my girls that that is the wrong thing to do. Okay? Because let me tell you, when you break up, the first person he is going to try and get is the girl you talked shit about. And I've seen it. I have literally my girlfriend who's dating now, who's going to marry a guy that a girlfriend spoke all kinds of shit about. And I think it's just like, one, you're manifesting this into reality because this guy had no idea who she was. And now the more you keep talking about her, the more you you just like turn a light switch. So now he's like, who is this girl? So now you're just bringing awareness to a girl he had no idea who she was. And now he wants her. Like, that's just how it is. So as a woman, you always have to be like, women are great. I love her. She's beautiful. You can't be the girl with your man that's like, that girl's a fucking this, and this. Because men just don't take it and receive it in the same way that you think they will. Look, when you guys break up, there's a chance he's going to do it just because he envies you and he's trying to, get back at you. That could be one. Two, it's because he now knows who you are. So he's like, oh, that girl's pretty, like, because normally girls will always hate a girl who kind of, knows that their man is going to be interested in. That's kind of how it works. So you as a woman need to be a girl's girl. You need to be like, she's beautiful, she's this, she's that. Yeah. But like, I'm the best. You have to always know you're the best. The second you show a man that you're insecure about another woman, the second you guys break up, he is going to go for her. Because one, you manifested it. Two, men think like, psychologically, the way they see it is that, oh, she must be my partner. Why is she so jealous and envy of this girl? She must be better than my current partner, right? Because why would she be jealous? Because she's better. And that's just how men see it. So women, going forward, do not tell a man that you do not like a woman, because the second you guys break up, he is going after her, okay? So just let's stop that. Even if it kills, just be like, yeah, she's beautiful, but like, I'm the best. Like, you gotta just like fight through it, because a lot of times guys will be like, I knew she was gonna go for him. But it's like, have you been talking about this girl to your man? Because men think differently. So you just have to understand the game so that if you're always like, yeah, that girl's so beautiful, even when he approaches her when you're not together, it's different vibe. But if you talk so much shit about this girl, he feels like he needs to get this girl even more and that she's better than you. And you want him to remember when he's going up to that girl that like, you thought she was beautiful, because it's going to be a whole different ballgame. He's actually going to think about you like, oh yeah, my girl found her beautiful. The jealousy is really what fucks shit up. You're creating it. Don't create it. My ex-partner, there was always this girl who I was always worried about, and I would talk so much shit about her. And what do you think happened? Like when we would fight, when anything would happen, he would go to her. Fuck that girl, Rebecca. But we can't let her know. We can't let her know we're mad. So we just got to play the innocent game. And that's just how it is. Don't show weakness. Not with other girls. Okay? So that's my first tip for today. So cheers. This is nasty. Someone asked, would you date a gangster? And I'm not playing answer or take a shot, but I will take a shot and also answer this question. By the way, I'm driving today, so I don't know if any of my friends want to come pick me up, but it looks like I'm gonna get wasted. I dabbled in the whole, like, dating one. I think dating a gangster and marrying one are two different things, okay? If you want that fast money life, you want to just like know what it's about, very dangerous, very dangerous. Don't recommend. Look, I mean, is life a little bit easier? In some ways, yes. In other ways, no. But I mean, it's fast money, right? So you get a lot more things if you're looking to get bags and shoes. Listen, but I think when it comes to marriage, like you don't want to live a life where you're like, stress every day, you have kids, and then like what? You want a life of peace, and that just doesn't come with a gangster. So no, not the new bitch, okay? I'm looking for my husband who's in tech, who loves me to death and is a nerd and doesn't get off his computer and works 24 hours a day and says, baby, go have fun with your girlfriends, but come back at the end of the night to me and let's create babies, and let me create you the best closet in the world to put all your designer items. Did I just manifest my husband? So no, I would not date a gangster. I would not marry a gangster. I would have in the past dated one. I think it's always like fun, it's risque. You could be like, baby, get me these things. And truthfully, who blows the most money on you? A lot of times, it's the illegal guys. They make fast money. They're able to spend it fast. So like, it's not what we want long term. But in the past, while I was younger, like, yeah, I mean, who the fuck wouldn't? Bro, I'm getting canceled. I'm getting canceled. Let me take a shot. Okay, I'm literally like, I need a break. I just took 3 and I'm like, this is nasty. Is it bad for me to go back to my coffee now? What the hell did Starbucks do, okay? I just want to let you guys know why I'm drinking my coffee like this. There's supposed to be a hole just at the top. Why is there one on the side? This is harder than giving a blowjob right now. Like, I'm trying to drink and I'm like, I'm trying not to spill it on me. I already spilled it 6 times on me. Like, this has to be a mistake. There should not be a hole here and here. I don't know what's going on, but whoever made my drink hates me. But guess who's not going to know? My boyfriend, my future boyfriend, because he's going to go date her. So that's not allowed. Okay, let's continue. How to deal with jealousy after a breakup. Ooh, I think this is a really good question. How to deal with jealousy after a breakup. Okay, so, sweetie, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna either take a piece of paper or notes on your phone. Oh my God, I'm sorry, this alcohol. Ugh. Look, I think a lot of people stay in relationships because of the jealousy, because they're procrastinating and dealing with, that phase of being alone and like not knowing what your ex-partner, like who he's talking to and like what's going on. Like it's just like such a jealousy because you're like, I'm not with him anymore, but I don't want anyone else to have him. And it's like totally normal. But I think in this situation, it's so, so important to keep busy. Do things you love, be around people you love. And also, you have to remember why you guys broke up. So you're going to take a piece of paper or you're going to write in notes all the reasons why you guys didn't work out. So like your non-negotiable. So all the things that you in your mind are not willing to settle on, because clearly you guys aren't together for a reason. Like there's things that he clearly he didn't have. There's clearly reasons the relationship didn't work, and you need to always remember that. And I think sometimes when we get out of it, we kind of forget, right? We remember the good memories and then we're like, oh, I miss him. I'm jealous. Like, what is he doing? So it's always good to like go back to your notes and remember, okay, he was shitty in bed or like, okay, he wasn't family oriented and that's really important to me, or like he wasn't religious, or whatever the fuck the list might be. You need to go back and train your mind and remind yourself why you guys aren't together, and then the jealousy will fade. But I think a lot of times what happens is we break up and then we're confused. We're like, did we make the right decision? And it's completely normal, but it's like very important to like bring yourself back to that and remind yourself why you guys aren't together. This way you'll have peace of mind. So it gets easier and easier the more you start going back to the list and you're like, right. And also like soothes your mind and like just reminds you why you're not together, and then the jealousy will slowly fade. But I think it's very important to be around friends, or some people, like it's about being alone and really just like not being around people. But I think a lot of times, like from my experience, I realize people go back when they're just like not working on themselves. So I think like just take all that energy, because when you're in a relationship, it's compromise, right? So just look at it as like a blessing. Now you're no longer together. You can put all that focus on yourself. So you can go to the gym, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. So just kind of doing all the things you love. This way, you know, your jealousy, look, it's going to fade slowly and slowly, and it's normal. But let me tell you, it gets easier. It gets easier. Look at me. I'm single, and it doesn't get easier. I'm going to start crying. I'm going to have a mental breakdown. But yeah, so focus on those things. Broke up with my ex 6 months ago. His best friend is in my DMs. I generally like him. What is your thoughts? Ooh, oh my God. This is a tough one and it's very situational. I think for the most part, I would say drop it, okay? Because the idea you set in your mind of what the relationship is actually going to be is almost never what it actually will be, and it's not worth it. You're no longer with your partner. There's 8.6 billion people in this world. Carry on, move on. I think you probably like the idea more of who he is than who he actually is. And I think it's more the riskiness and the, ooh, like it would be fun. And like maybe a little bit is like, I'm going to get back to my ex-partner. I think, look, sometimes it happens, but I think for the most part, just try and understand where that's coming from to better make your next move. And I guess like, not make the wrong decision. Because ask yourself, like, why is it that you're into him? Is it really just because you guys click and all these things? Or is it some part of it is ego and just feeling like, oh, like, yeah, this would be fun? Really try and figure out what it is before you kind of make your next move. I think that there's more than one soulmate for anyone in this world. Other people might think otherwise, but I think you will connect with more than one person. So I do not think you have to go after the one person that like is friends with your mans. But look, hey, it doesn't always happen that way. And life isn't always a fairy tale and Cinderella drops her heel and, you know, the prince goes and take it. Like sometimes like shit happens. But I think just kind of really try and think like, okay, like, do I really like this guy? Why? Is this my ego? Or is this actually me? Like I've always had a crush on this guy. I think even for a guy too, it's just the chase of being able to know like he got his friend's girl, which is like, I don't know, not something. First of all, I already don't like the idea that like he's willing to do that to his friend. It doesn't show good character. So already there I would be like, iffy. But look, There's always exceptions to the rules, right? Have your breasts been done? No, leave me alone. I need a shot. No, they are 100% naturale, okay? Believe it or not, a lot of people are blessed with good things. I was just blessed with good titties. Look, other people get really good smiles, booties. I mean, my booty's pretty fired. I feel like I'm gonna stand up and be fucking wasted. Ugh. How many shots are we on right now? 4? Disgusting. Top 3 turn-ons and top 3 turn-offs when you meet a guy. Okay. Top 3 turn-ons when a guy sees life as like he can have whatever he wants. I'm literally having an orgasm. Also probably because I drank. I remember when I was like 21 years old, I was at the club and I was talking to this guy, and I know the best things never happen at the clubs, but I remember being like so young. I think I was like 19 or 18 years old, and I was like, yeah, like I was telling the guy, I was like, yeah, like I really, really want to start a business. And he's like, so why don't you? And I was like, because I'm still young and I have like a lot of time. And I think I was like, I don't even remember what I was saying. And this never left my mind when he was like, but you want to start it now. Like, why are you waiting? Like, time, like, just start, like, go. Like, if you know what you want to do, just do it. And it really had me thinking, like, yeah, you're right. Like, why am I waiting? Like, why we set these like days and like times of like why, like we say we want to do something, but then we don't follow through it, or we always have like an excuse. And I think like meeting a guy who's like, sky's the limit, you can have whatever you want. Like, you don't need to like wait to do anything. Like, you can just have it and do it. Like, I think a lot of people live in a very scarcity mindset. And when I meet someone who's lives in a mindset where he can have an abundance mindset, where he can have whatever he wants and he will have whatever he wants, that is the number one turn on in a guy. I'm that way. So to be with someone who matches that same energy, like, I'm literally having an orgasm. Like, oh my God, like being with someone who like doesn't believe that they can have things is just never something that's going to work for me. So you create your own path, baby, and you walk right through it. If you believe you want something and have something, you will have it. If you don't believe you are worthy of something, you will not have it. And that's just it. So one is definitely like mindset. Second turn on. You know what? Another turn on I think would be a guy who dresses well. It's not something that I always like vocalize, because I was always like, well, like I can definitely style my man. I mean, it's not something that like I'm going to be like, absolutely not. If I meet the perfect guy and like he doesn't know how to style himself, like I will 100% take on that role. No problem. Don't worry, baby. But I think it's very hot when a guy knows how to dress. And I'm not talking like dress where he needs to wear everything designer and like he's wearing fucking glittery, sparkly Amiri pants, because as someone who graduated in fashion and knows a lot about like brands and stuff, I will know what you're wearing regardless if it shows a brand name or not. Like if you're wearing Margiela, like I'm very good with that stuff. So I think like, cause I appreciate it when I see it on a guy, I'm like, hottest thing, biggest turn on. But with that being said, I don't like a guy who wears a lot of brand names everywhere. I think that's like very unattractive. Like just like a lot of like logos. I'm like, you're poor. You're literally poor. Like if you actually had money, you'd probably be shopping at Uniqlo, or like, I don't know, like you wouldn't be wearing everything designer and like you don't feel the need. Maybe that's a hot take. Or like you're wearing designer, but you don't need to show people you're wearing designer. Like quiet luxury. Hot. Biggest turn on. Another turn on for me is a guy who's able to say no to things that he enjoys. Let me explain. In life, we all love things, okay? We all can like things and not have to do them every day. And I think someone who's able to distinguish something with like it being an occasion and something that like he just gets addicted to. Someone who gets addicted to things and can't like actually just like control himself, I think is an ick for me. And like, I like someone who's able to like do things, but also be able to be like, no, I can't tomorrow, like at work. Like someone who has boundaries with themselves. I have a lot of boundaries with myself. So I think somebody who like really knows how to say no to things he enjoys is the hottest thing. When you have control on your life, baby, hot. Turn off. Okay. I really like a guy who like has nice teeth. Like I'm gonna be staring at that mouth for the rest of my life. I like some nice teeth, but I think like that's fair. Like even guys like that. A guy who's just like negative in life. Like I can't have it in friendships. I can't have it in relationships. A guy who just there's always two ways of looking at life, and I always try and take the high road, and I always try and think like even when something bad happens, like there's a reason for it, like something better is coming. So somebody who's very negative on life, biggest turn off, because I feel like he's like angry towards life, and like you don't want to be with a guy who's angry towards life. You want a guy who's like happy Joe Lucky, happy Joe Lucky that he caught himself a beautiful fish. If you thought you were that beautiful fish, think again. Stop drinking. Was that 3? I hope it's 3. I don't want to think about another one. There's a million turnoffs. I mean, listen to fucking 150 episodes. I tell you one each fucking week. One is like minimum. How do you keep the convo going with a guy you met who doesn't live in the same city? Girly, you came to the right girl. Well, I don't know if you're going to trust my advice wasted, but I have so many opinions about this. Oh my God. Okay, so what was the question? How do you keep the convo going with a guy you met who doesn't live in the same city? Got it. Noted. FaceTime is your best friend, okay? I think a lot of things could get lost in translation when you're texting someone. And I think FaceTime is a beautiful way to kind of feel like you're together even when you're not. So I think FaceTime, but I also think there needs to be a plan. Like, what are we doing here? Like, is there a plan in the next 6 months to a year that someone's going to move? Because I think a lot of times, like, I don't know, we say, oh, I don't know what's going on, but it's like, do we have a plan in motion? If not, what are we doing here? Like the guy, like, is someone planning on moving in the 6 months for you to be close? Because I think like long distance in like long term just never works. So there needs to be a plan that like eventually someone's going to move and you need to be on the same understanding. So I think like, are you guys talking about those things? If you're not and it's kind of wishy-washy, it's like, boy, bye. Like we want a man with a plan. See ya later. See ya later. See ya never. We want a guy who takes initiative, who plans, who's like, baby, you're coming here. Like, I have a girlfriend who's like moving to LA because of her mans, and like he's literally putting things in process for her to like even leave her job and like do things on the side. Like, that's what we want. When you're moving your life for a guy, you want a guy to literally make you walk through, okay? Because you're already doing the big thing, which is like moving for someone. So I think somebody needs to like, the thing is when somebody likes you, you will know. That's the thing. They will move mountains for you. You're not going to be confused. Oh, does he like me? Oh, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, it's very simple. When a guy is interested in you, you will know. And that's it, folks. That is it. I hope I answered the question. Okay. Any opinions on the biological clock for our age? Would love to hear yours. So basically what I'm going through now, I think that's rude that you asked that question, knowing that we're in the same situation. Club going up on a Tuesday. I cannot drive, so I hope someone's... Oh my God, there was already alcohol in there. I'm really trying to get into tequila, guys. Like, it's really like I'm trying. No, the fact that everyone's just going to see me wasted, like, on a solo episode, like, just shooting the shits, talking a bunch of shit, like, is not acceptable. This is a really big shot. I don't know if I should answer the question first or take the shot. I think we should take the shot. Let's go. By the way, guys, 20 minutes of this episode got cut, so I'm redoing some of the questions I already answered. So I'm even more drunk than the drunk you think I am. How do you keep the convo going with a guy who met? Oh, I answered that. Oh, we're on any opinions on the biological clock for our girl's age. Would love to hear yours. Okay, well, you literally don't have to be mean like that. Like, that's literally such a rude question. Okay. Truthfully, live your life. Do things you enjoy, put yourself out there, do everything you love, and you will attract the person that's for you. Be the person that you would want to date, and you will attract the person in no time. I think a lot of times people don't understand that like you need to do the work within yourself in order to attract the right person. Like the type of guy you want, does that guy want you? Like you want a fit guy who has abs and like works out and is like successful, but like are you the girl who's like working on her body? Are you like doing all these things to attract that guy? Like I think it's really just about like being the person you would want to be with. So if it's working on hobbies, if it's just like being fit, eating healthy, goal driven, ambitious, like whatever you value and you want in someone, you got to become that. So I don't know. I just think like I gave up on this whole like biological clock. Like I'm 28 years old. I can't wait to get married. I can't wait to have kids. Like I can't wait to be like I can't wait to fully give myself to one person. And I know that sounds so crazy in today's generation, but like I would love nothing more than to have the love my parents have. And like, I don't want to start crying right now. And I know like a lot of people will be like, well, it's very hard to find. And like, you're living in a different generation. Fine, fair. But I see it in me and the loyalty I'm able to give to somebody. And like, I really, really like would want it in somebody else. And I think it exists. If I'm this person, then I'm sure like someone's family raised them well enough to like, they're like me. No, like I've given up on like the whole biological clock, and I just really want someone who like values the same things as me, but I also will not chase it anymore. Like I'm really at this stage where I'm like, this is who I am. Take me as I am. If I'm not for you, then casually like walk past me. It's okay, but like you're not gonna get in between me and like my future person. And like I've given up on like this whole like Cinderella fairy tale, and when I meet Miss Cinderella, my shoe's gonna fall and he's gonna catch. Like it's like no, like I think at the end of the day, like it's not always how it is, and you really need to connect on like a lot of the same like values. Honestly, I feel like there's so much more I want to say, but I'm wasted. Don't put the pressure on yourself, because that'll literally just get you into a relationship not worth being in, because you're just settling. Just become the person you would want to be with, and then you'll attract that person. Don't put that extra pressure on yourself. Live your life. Also put yourself in situations where you're like, where would my husband be? Do I want a rich guy? Maybe I'll put myself, in a couple of charities. Do I love reading and would love that in a partner? Maybe I'll go to the library. Like it's about placing yourself places where you would want to find your partner, because that's who you truly are. You're not doing it because you want to find somebody at the library. You're doing it because that's who you are. I think we attract who we are. So putting yourself and doing things that you love every day will just bring you to your person. But like, don't stress. Like I know a lot of people who like, I have friends who are also like 30 and are just like starting to settle because they just feel like just that person doesn't exist. And I think that's the scariest mindset to live in. Like the same way we talk about like abundance with like money and stuff is the same way we have to approach it with like a partner. Like we're not going to rush anything because like I'm almost 30 and I'm half off, like we want to because we're getting scared, but also like we have to know our value. And like when you know your value, it's very hard for someone to come in and tell you what your value is. And I think it just like eliminates all the losers, because you're just like, I know what I deserve and I know who I am. When you know who you are, you don't settle for fucking jack shit. So let's move on to the next question. I hope I answered this. Is lasagna just a spaghetti flavored cake? Absolutely. Would you consider wearing less revealing clothing to attract men? Okay, so the guy who wrote this, I think, is Muslim. Would you consider ever converting to a Muslim for a husband? I dated a Jewish guy and I was always like, you know what? It doesn't really matter. Like, truthfully, if he has family values, like I'll convert. I don't know. It's a bit weird though, because like the stage I'm in, like I don't think I would convert for a man. Like I think it's hard to say because like, yeah, I meet the perfect guy and he's Jewish, then find fair, like, yeah. But I think, I don't know, as I'm getting closer to God and as I'm like really coming into my own and who I am, I don't think so. No, I feel like I'm really content with who I am. And like, I don't know, like, I think like you can't choose who you fall in love with. I think like they normally choose you, if that's, I don't know if that's a hot take, but like, I think like, a guy will normally choose you. I don't think like as a girl, like, yeah, you can like eliminate the ones that are bad for you. Like you also choose, but I think for the most part, like it has to do with like a guy consistently like wanting you and choosing you every day. And I think also like a guy needs to love you more than you need. I think a guy needs to love you more than you love them. Like, look at my parents, for instance. Like, my mom was like, I don't know about him. And then my dad was just consistent and then got my mom. Like, I don't know. I think, like, a man really needs to choose you and work towards getting you. And I think as women, we're always confused. We're like, oh, is he interested? Like, you will know. If a guy is interested in you, you will know. The actions will follow through with what he is saying. Okay. So if you're confused, he's not that interested in you. It's the hard fucking truth. And I'm sorry if you're hearing this and like you're maybe like confused about a guy, but like truthfully, don't even waste another breath, okay? Because the guy who's interested in you will keep pursuing you and will show you that you are his only one. Would you consider wearing less revealing clothes to would you consider wearing less revealing clothes to attract men? I hate this question, but I'll answer it. I hate when people are like, oh, like, why are you wearing that? It's so revealing. Okay, first of all, I have many styles. One that's tomboy that, like, you will never see my tatas. Like, I'm so covered up. I have another style that's very minimalist, like, very classy. And then I have a little bit of a horror side. Like, why do we need to put ourselves always in one box? I hate that. It depends my mood. If I'm feeling hot and I'm in my 20s and I want to show a little bit more body, I will. If I'm feeling a little bit more like I'm with my husband and he doesn't approve of that, like then I'll cover up a little bit more. I think like life isn't so black and white and like you really just need to live authentically to who you are and you will attract the right person. Like stop putting us in these boxes like dress conservative or not. Like I'm three. Like my style is like edgy. My style is fucking hoary. My style is classy. Like I literally, if you know me, you know, like I go all over the board. So I hate when people say this. But like for example, my mom and dad, okay? Like my mom will adjust her clothing a lot of times because my dad won't approve. And I think that's 100% respectable. And as a man, like if you're not comfortable with your woman going out like that, then I think you also need to make your partner happy. Like, I don't know. Like, I think like it doesn't always have to do, like, I think women are so women are so easily able to say like, oh, well, you know, like they're just insecure and that's why I need to change and I'm not changing for a man. No. Okay, girl, find yourself single for the rest of your life. Like, I think there's also compromise that happens, you know, like as a man, you know, you're going out, like you're around other, like maybe his business partners, like he wants you to dress classy. You have to also respect that, like understand the room, you know? I think, yes, some guys will love that so much when you're dressed like very slutty, but you also have to ask yourself, why does he want that? Because he wants other guys to want you? Like, is that an insecure thing? Like it's very complex when it comes to dressing and like women being in a relationship with a man. But I think also it's very important to respect your partner. So if he doesn't feel comfortable with certain things, like, yes, like I'm sorry to say, girl, but like in a relationship, compromise is a thing. But because I have so many styles, like it's so easy for me to be like, okay, babe, you want me to dress minimalist? Let's fucking go. Let's go. Like, I don't know. It doesn't affect me the same way. I'm able to obey to my man if he's uncomfortable with something. I understand it. I get it. Like, by the way, guys, this is all what I've been raised with. Like I just told you, like my mom and dad, like sometimes my dad will be like, no, I don't feel comfortable. That's a little bit see-through. And my mom will change. So like, that's what I've grown up seeing. So like, I understand it. Like sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do because it will make your partner happy. And I know, you know, you could hear this and be like, well, then my dad must be insecure. But no, like he just like, He doesn't want that for my mom. And I get that. I get that. It's just really just a respect thing. But I'm out here in a fucking cutout, and like you're probably like, this girl has no parents. And it's like, I do, but I just have many styles. And like, I don't know. I just want to be with a guy who's like, baby, you're so hot in that. And you could wear that. And then you could also just like, you're going to meet my parents. Like, yeah, I won't wear this if I'm meeting your parents. Also, don't check out my Instagram. Like, it's that simple. Um, when are you visiting London? Let's work. I love London so much. I want to come back soon. Absolutely. I'm going to Paris in September, so for Fashion Week. So I'll definitely probably come after that. Would you consider wearing less clothes? Oh, I answered that. Would you consider converting to a Muslim for a husband? No. What are you looking for in a partner? Oh, this question is so complex. I've met two people in my life who I felt like really had the same morals and values like me. So I think that's what I really hold on to, that I know it exists in two people I've met in my life. So I think that I can have it in the future. And maybe that sounds really crazy, but like when you have something or like you feel this really strong connection with someone and you feel like you like value the same things, you go, okay, like if it exists in me, it exists in someone else. And when you witness it, you're kind of just like, okay, like it exists. It might be 1% of the population, but like it exists. And like that's what I'm really holding on to. And some of you might be like, okay, good luck, girl. But it's like, no, I know I'll get what I want. And I think like a lot of people are very, very intimidated by confident people. And I've seen it so much in my life. And like, I know a lot of times people will be like, oh, La, like you're so confident. It's like, yes, in this last year, I would say I'm very, very like aware of who I am, what I want, confident, I'm authentic, 100%. I haven't always been to this level, but I think when you get there, you feel this, like you feel less like you have to be anyone you're not. And you're just like, whatever, if this guy's not going to like this about me, then walk away. I don't care. I don't care, because the right guy will never like be like, oh, this is too much. He'll be like, oh my God, I love this so much. It's a breath of fresh air. Like, that's what I want. I want a guy who's like, wow, So I don't know. I think it also depends. Like, what was the question? What are you looking for in a partner? I'm looking for someone who just sees life the same way as me, who wants to just raise a family, who wants to say, honestly, I'm just looking for a partner who wants the same things as me and like will really appreciate my value, because I really truly believe like when I give myself to someone and I'm with someone, like I will literally give you everything. And I think that's something that's always been scary for me, is that I know that when I give myself to someone, I'm like 100% in, and like you will get the best me, because I've been working so hard on becoming the best me, if that makes sense. Oh my God, am I going to start crying? No, but I just like, I'm looking for someone to have fun with. I'm looking for someone who values the same things as me. I'm looking for someone who believes in God. I'm looking for someone who wants to achieve greatness, who is respectful, who is loyal, who is just doesn't take life that serious. Honestly, that's what I'm looking for. What kind of athlete would you date? Preferably none. Like, I'm not really going into this with like, I need to date an athlete, but like, look, you never know. Like, I see Alex Earl and her mans, like, it works out for them. So, like, who knows? Since you're an Aquarius, do you find it difficult to keep being in a relation? Since you're an Aquarius, do you find it difficult to be in a relationship long term? Ooh, that's an interesting question. That's a very interesting question. I think what a lot of people don't understand about Aquarius, not that we have a hard time being in a long-term relationship, is that we're so very cutthroat. Like we know what we want and what we don't want. And so whenever you do not match any of those boxes, we're able to drop you like a piece of pie. Like we're able to just be like, we'll see you, like it's not it, and like bye. So I think a lot of people like lose like the like in that they kind of just like think like we're heartless, and it's like we have the biggest hearts. Like my girlfriend always tells me, she's like, babe, you literally do so much for me, and like, and I'm like, please, like I would never even want like credibility for that. Like I just like I love you so much, like I will do anything I could for you. And I think we get a lot of pleasure in that. And I think our softness gets taken for weakness, or like at least we're scared to show our weakness. So we just mask in like being super like independent and stuff. And I think sometimes like even I as a girl, I'm learning to like kind of just like wheel in, because like men want the softness, men want the vulnerability. And like, I don't know, I think it's really hard as an Aquarius. Like it's hard for us to show like our vulnerability, and we just like also know what we want. So we're just like not going to settle because we're like, oh, like we're scared to be alone. Like we rather be alone if it's not going to be with the right person. And so we just kind of live our life going, okay, I hope it exists. But I think like Aquarius also deal with a lot of insecurity because we just like never feel like we're going to be enough for someone. And like, I don't know, like I just want someone to walk into my life and it's like, baby, you're enough. What is your shoe size? My shoe size is a 7, 6.5 at times. DM me if you want my address to ship me a pair of heels, and preferably designer, please, because I'm high maintenance. How do you get legs as sexy as yours? So much comparison between other girls and like what they have, what you don't have. And I think even as a man, like it's always like we live in a world where like it's very easy to be jealous about what other people have and what you don't have. But I think it's very important to focus on what you love about yourself. And it doesn't make you cocky or braggy. Like someone just wrote like, I love your legs. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I love my legs too. Like, thank you. And I think we have to stop this like idea where we need to be like insecure and we can't really show that like for me to be like, yeah, I love my legs. Like it's weird. No, fuck that. Like I am grateful with everything. I take within everything. There's not everything I love about myself, but like the things I do love, I will literally be like, thank you, God. And there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with showing appreciation and loving yourself. And I think a lot of women I've witnessed have a hard time dealing with someone who's like secure in who they are. And being secure and loving who you are doesn't mean that you love every single thing about you. Let me clarify, because there's a lot of things I do not love about myself, but being secure and just being like, this is who I am. I'm grateful for all the things I do love about myself, and no one is better than me. And it's not to say like, I'm like, oh, I'm better than somebody else. It's just like, I'm stuck in this bitch. I'm stuck with myself for the rest of my life. So I have to love myself. So if I love my legs, if I love my tits, if I love my ass, then there's nothing cocky about that. I have to love it. And even if I don't, I have to choose to love it. And like, it's just what it is. And I think a lot of people are very threatened by confident women. And I think it's really an art and something that needs to be practiced daily to get there, because everyone wakes up, they look at themselves in the mirror and they hate so many things about themselves. But it's about choosing to love the things that you don't love and being grateful for the things you have. But yeah. I need to pee so badly. Be right back. Somebody said, how much money for a kick in the nuts? Now that I'm drunk, I'll tell you what my price is. How much money for a kick in the nuts? So you're honestly, like I really am so shocked to find out how many pay pigs actually exist. And if you're confused at what a pay pig is, it's just a guy who wants to give his money and be dominated by a woman, like financially, because I always forget how many freaking pay pigs exist in this world. And they're always normally guys who are like, have made so much money and they just want to be like, they just want to be told off by women. They want to be like sexually taken advantage of, and it literally blows my mind. And because sometimes I feel like I can be the biggest bitch, I'm like, right, girl, I can't do much in this world, but like, you want to kick in the nuts? Sure, send me 3 G's in a public area. I'll do it. No, this is really bad. Anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this episode. I answered a bunch of questions and I also gave you like my personal take on a lot of things. 30 minutes of the episode was freaking lost, and I had to restart while already drinking. So this is a disaster. So I think we should only end the episode with one last shot to basically solidify the fact that Alessia is absolutely nuts. She will literally meet her husband, but her husband needs to be very similar to me because he has to deal with this. Like, But then again, like, I don't need a guy who's drunk. I need a girl to be like, babe, get over here. He picks me up and he's like, I'm dealing with this fucking nutso. That's what I want. A guy who can handle my nutsness. I'm Italian. What, do you think I'm not nuts? Just need someone who can handle it. So cheers, guys. I hope you love this episode. And yeah, to next week. No, it literally, tequila does not get easier. It's just fucking disgusting. Anyway, guys.
You're listening to the
See you next
X
Monday
Podcast
with somebody other than myself in this bottle.